Dedication, obedience, culture, trust, honor, respect. These are facets inculcated and imbibed in a student during the formative years in school. However, school also engenders us with knowledge, prescience, foresight, vision, and erudition. Nevertheless, during the formative years, peer pressure and a lot of other problems can happen. Now, in that regard, we have the distinctive privilege of having with us Madam Ruxana with 3 PhDs on the anvil, very few in India, with a vast experience of dealing with peer pressure and students. I have invited and she has kindly consented to share her thoughts this morning. Madam Ruxana.
Thank you. Yes, a very good day to all of you. If I have to talk about the child of what age? So that's the question what everybody has. When exactly should I take care of the child? When exactly should I say that, okay, now my child is grown up? The very first question is this, and the answer for this is, the day you plan to become a mother, that is the day you have to take care about your child. The day you have planned, the child is not born, the child is not there in your womb, nothing. The planning of the child. If I have to tell it in other words, supposing you are traveling, the first thing what you do is you will say how you are going to travel. Is it by flight? Is it by train? Is it by bus? Is it by car? Or is it by any other means of transportation? Right? Short journey of few hours. We have so much of planning. This is something what I am going to create. The creation, and that creation will be a major part of this mankind, of this humanity, of this world, of this creation. So we hardly have any plans. You can take back the cases, ask your mother, if she is there, ask your mother that was I a planned child? Definitely the answer is no. And then you see your own upbringing, you see your own challenges, you see your own opportunities, you see the kind of things what you are. Actually, you were not supposed to be this. You were something much beyond. But because of the circumstance, because of the opportunities, because of the challenges, because of the limitation what you had within your learning, within your teaching, within your living of life, you will come to know what is. See, this research of whatever I have been doing and I am doing, this is not rocket science. If you just sit, understand what it is very easy. Now, before I start about this, why I am talking about all this, like before you do your thesis, there is a preparation, the synopsis. This is a synopsis before I start talking about your child now. In case if I am not, it was not a planned pregnancy and I have given birth to a child. I was expecting a child. I wanted a boy or I wanted a girl, and I got the opposite one. That means the child was rejected right from the womb. The child was rejected right from the womb because my expectation as a mother was a boy and I got a girl. My expectation when I was pregnant, it was a girl and I got a boy. Maybe we think that this has nothing to do with the living condition after the child is born. There is a lot. Soon after that, you have to see what was your living condition when you were pregnant, when you were carrying the child. Your food, your sleep, your clothes, your work, your temperament, your surrounding, the relationship especially with your husband, with your in-laws, with your friends, your anger, your pain, your vengeance, your revenge, all these things play a major role when you are pregnant. Another example I would like to tell is, if you are sowing an apple seed, apple, okay, and then as the tree grows big, you are expecting mangoes. It will not happen. And apple seeds will give birth to only apples. With all these conditions, I don't care, still you will give birth. Absolutely no problem. It may be a normal birth, it may be a C-section, it may be a postnatal, it may be a prenatal. There may be various ways how the child is born. Once the child is born, as soon as you see the child, the auras, what is the first word what the child heard? All these things plays a major role on the psychological growing up, the psychological maturity, the psychological upbringing. So psychologically what we can do, ma'am, psychology is just here. Psychology is just what we think. No. Psychology is something which is there within your subconscious. Conscious, I just do, okay, I have to do this. Somebody asks me what's my name, I just say yes, yes, yes. Psychology is something I want to talk, but still, no, I have that fear. Go back to your pregnancy and see that you get connected. All these things was actually not into news, not into the understanding of any parents, because technology was very less. Technology was very, very less. So we never knew what it was. Everything what came, it was just a part and parcel of learning, a part and parcel of living, a part and parcel of going on. We never had choice. Today the choices are more. In case you are a mother who has given birth, I'll take a child of 2015. 2024. Okay. Now, in this small gap, where exactly is the child? You can see the psychological behavior. Okay, the behavioral signs of a child, the food what is eating, okay, the clothes what is in, the verbs, the words, the vocabulary, what is it? He may be a different person in front of you, he may be a different person in front of the friends, he may be an entirely different person on the in the classroom. So you have to understand the child. I'm just giving you 3 main sectors where you have to understand the child's behavior. Not suddenly come up with conclusion, he is very stubborn, he is very naughty. No, behind that stubborn there is some intelligence. Behind the stubborn there is some intelligence, where as a parent I fail to understand that intelligence and I become judgmental, stubborn, naughty, arrogant, ignorance. Are these words negative or positive? And when I am saying these words and I still want the child to be good, how? So today it is very, very easy, because there are so many reels, there is so much information, there are so many ways we can say, okay, my child is doing this, because it's become a one-way knowledge. The one-way knowledge, what is happening, even for the parents, even for the teachers, even for the child. It's an extremely pathetic condition. We as parents fail to understand our own child. The kind of education system what has happened today. Again, there is a break. For us, school was not only a part of learning, school was a correction center. Now correction centers are somewhere else. Correction centers are observation homes. Correction centers are the prison for the children. Correction center shouldn't be there. Correction center should be the teacher. The intervention should be in the classroom. As I still remember, if there was any small mistake what we make, my mother says, I'll come to your school and tell your teacher. No, please don't do that. Today, if the teacher does anything, the child comes and says, I am going to teach you a lesson. He comes up and he tells different stories as what he wants. Actually, that is not the truth. That is not the truth. And then again, what is the role of a parent? What is it what I am teaching the child? I am teaching the child. Is it? Did your teacher do this? You wait, tomorrow I am going to come and take a class for her. In front of everybody, in front of the principal, the coordinator, the management, the other teachers. Go and bang the teacher. Do you think that I will be able to correct your child? I will have my personal vengeance after that. Anything where your child is, please go back to the 9 months what the child was within the womb. After that, that's the reason I said 20, 15, 20, 29. This is not the first stage. This is the 9 years is the last stage of that peer group. Once you cross that 9 years, the multiplication is into 2, into 2, into 2. When is it when I really know about my child? When he completes his graduation. Will I be able to clear it? Will I be able to correct it? That is the day, the mistake what I made in 2024, I will come to know in 2031, I shouldn't have done this. I shouldn't have, that day I should have allowed the teacher to correct. Too late, irreparable. The damages are gone. Things will happen. I am just talking about the behavioral science. Before this and after this, there are many other interventions. I am just talking about the behavior of a child till his graduation. Till his graduation. The moment he completes his graduation, some drop out, some go for skill trainings, some go for short thing. Whatever it is, I have completed 21 years. Work. After work, the adulthood. After the adulthood, the manhood. After that, the family man. The stages crosses. So we have to understand here where exactly these things took place. We can also see with the previous thing, like my father, or I've also done generation research. It was the grandfather, then the father, then he himself, and then his child, like the 4th generation. 5 generation, very few we get, but 4 generation we can see. What was the first, the grandfather's generation? What was his behavior structure? Then what was the father? Then what am I? Then what is my child? So it is like that. Even in the generational thing we can see, there is, the father has never smoked, the father has never touched alcohol, the father never knew. Of course, those days we never had any such kind of drugs, whatever we are available today. But still, even the other things which it was not there. Gambling, they never had gambling, they never had too many women in that. There are so many facts we can tell. But what happens in this generation, I am talking about the Z plus. The Z plus generation are the Z plus plus plus. Now $1 million questions for each one of us, each one of the parent. If you don't have a child, only one reason to be unhappy, I don't have children, that's it. And if you have kids, hundreds and thousands of reasons for you to be unhappy about it. Today's parenting has really become a great challenge. It is no more that living, okay, I have got children, I have 5 kids, I have 10 kids. No, 1, 2. 1 and 2. We as parents, we don't want to take these responsibilities. We are also just making the shortcuts. When we have become shortcuts and we expect our children to be on a long cut, no, it will not happen. As I said, once you sow a seed of apple, only apples will come out. You can't expect mangoes. So in this various ways of parenting, the first way what I said is your womb. Before you get the child in your womb, it is the planning. First month what I'll be, second month what I'll be, third. See, something is getting inside and something is growing. You don't even know what it is. You don't even know how these things are changing, irrespective of all the technologies what we have. We don't know when what is happening within the for the child within the stomach. So this is where the external part of you, that external part of you should be very, very healthy, very, very strong. The immunity should be very strong. The food what you take, the thoughts, the things what you see, the smell, what you talk, what you hear, all these are very important when the child is within the womb. That is the reason, it is within the womb and it has been covered. There is no such thing, only the direct thoughts, the direct this. Just remember. And whenever you just stand in front of the mirror and always you have positive thoughts. Always you think what your child should be. These things are very important for the mothers. Would be, this is a bumper kind of information for you. I don't think so anybody would have told you about this. But you see, go back to those 90s, 80s, 70s, 60s, where the mother-in-law or the grandmother-in-law will be there. Don't do this, don't hear the loud music. It is not there. Today when parents, when the would-be mothers, when they come to me and say, I just tell them, please don't use your internet. Don't use the mobiles with the internet. This is my stomach and I look here. Radiations are not seen. We don't know what is radiations. Radiance only ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಇದೆ ಮೊಬೈಲ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತೀನಿ. Okay, that is the only thing. If you really want to see what it is, just keep your mobile on in vibration and keep it on tip of one of the tables and let the mobile ring and see how it vibrates and gets down. A simple vibration what I can tell you. But these radiation has that direct effect on the child. So many complications. When I see the child with heart problem, with kidney problems, the child is just 3 years. The child is just 3 days. The child is just 3 months. The child is just 90 days. How come this much of problem? So we just don't understand. For the sake of having a child, please don't have. For the sake of the joy, for the sake of that, when the child smiles, that is a joy. And this is an unpaid joy. This is a joy which is unlimited. The moment this unlimit gets limited, as a mother, as a parent, I am in trouble. I may be in trouble. No problem, I can manage. My child, who's just 5 years, who's just 6 years, who's just 9 years, what happens to him or her? Both the parents are working. We live in a nuclear situation. We live in the floating area. Many of type 1, type 2 metro cities, we all live high-rise building. The children who stay on the high-rise buildings and the children who are on the ground floors, lot of difference. Nobody knows about it because we never give a thought. Where do you stay? I stay in that society. How many floors? 65 floors. Please come down. Please come down and see your child. When the child looks down, what is he feeling? When the child wants to come down, the fear. And the child comes back from school, not college, school, 5 to 9 school. Either there is a full-time maid, either there is a part-time maid, or either there is a third person who will be receiving the child. If this is your living condition, then the child is under threat. What is the threat? Threat of being a loner. But what is my thing? There is a TV, there is a fridge, there is everything, there is a luxurious living, the house is fully furnished, there is food, whatever he wants, he can order, he can do everything. His subconscious is a loner. The moment that loneliness comes to me as a child, I will look to what I want to look. I will look to what I want to look. And what I want to look, you don't know. What I want to look, the person who's taking care of me doesn't know. I get that peace, I get that happiness, and my loneliness has been covered with what I am looking. It may be the digital world with various gadgets. With the various gadgets what we have. As a mother, I will never come to know. But as a mother, I feel very happy for that temporary moment to say, oh, nowadays my child, has become very matured. He doesn't demand. He's for himself. He's always in the room. He's always with some kind of information. I fail to understand the change of my child suddenly. But I'm happy. He's not troubling me. Today, it may just be 5, 6, 7, 9. After 9, the real chemical balance will start off. When the real chemical balance starts off, that is where the child is in search of the chemical which will stabilize him. Unfortunately, there is already another boy or girl in my class who has undergone this situation and is very happy now. I'll start sharing. Hey, you know what? This. Oh, yes, it was this. How did you manage? Hey, you know what? I did this. The information what I have never spoken to my child about the particular thing what that friend spoke to my son, my daughter. So my child also doesn't want to speak to me about whatever he has learned from his friend. See how the connection is. By the time we understand where this 5-year became a 9-year, and this 9-year is still a 9-year but doing things which is 15 years. Biologically, I'm 9 years. Psychologically, I'm 15 years. What is the gap? What is the gap? I addressed my child as a 9-year. But I am talking to my mom as a 15-year. Whether it is technology, whether it is the information, whether it is all the kind of living conditions in today's world, my child is little matured than what actually I am. So here what happens is later on when the child is really 15 years, the child will experience everything what a 21-year-old has to. I will not get into the things what it is in this episode, because I don't want to confuse you more with the chemicals, with the substance. I'm just telling you about the living condition, the way the child is behaving, the way the child is having his life. In case if he's a 9-year-old child, when he is behaving a 15-year-old child, how you are going to find out? As I say, it is not rocket science at all. Absolutely not rocket science. To understand my child, what is that what I want? I don't need any researchal tools. I don't need any questioners. I don't want any interview. It's my child. When my child is just this, one look. When my child is talking to me, okay, he's just squeezing himself here like this, okay. Otherwise, he's just holding his hands behind and he's trying to do this. Again, rubbing himself. My child is going to the toilet every time. Why? My child is in the toilet for a long time. Why? Don't suspect your child. Don't conclude your child. Don't become judgmental with your child. Please, please, please don't be angry and show the child, if you do anything, I'm going to do this. Just be a friend and say, whatever it is, we can overcome. This too shall pass. Give him that courage of conviction to accept the things. Only then he will be or she will be open with you. Your child, when he is sleeping, how is he sleeping? Is he just squeezing himself, or is just opening up himself, or he is sleeping on his stomach, or where he is closing his full face? You can understand your child in this content, in this condition of sleep. Because after your child, supposing your child is sleeping at 9, okay, 10, 11 and 12, 1 o'clock, he'll be in deep sleep. 1, 2, 3. Please keep an alarm at 1 o'clock. Get up, just come on the light and see what is the condition, what is the, in what space is he sleeping? Is he sleeping on the bed with a very small place, or is it just widening up? This will tell what exactly your child is undergoing subconsciously. Consciously he is very good. Okay, mama told me to do this, I am doing, mama told me to do this, I have to clean this, I have to clean this. Obedient. Obedient doesn't really make a child a real obedient child. Fake it to make it. They fake themselves. The discipline is fake. The discipline is because of my fear. Home is the only place where the child lives freely. In the school, it is uniform. What is the meaning of uniform? You have to follow the discipline. You have to follow what the front person is doing, what the entire class is doing. You can see even in the uniformed personals, like the police, the navy, how they are. At home, make your child just naked with all these uniforms. Only then you will be able to understand, yes, this is my child. Somewhere something is gone wrong. That is the reason he is spending more time in the bathroom. And when he is there in the bathroom, tuck, 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 no. Have you finished? 1, 2, 3, knock, knock, knock. Have you finished? Tell him the time. So, tuck, tuck, tuck. I'm doing something which nobody should see inside the toilet. And suddenly you do it. Fear comes. But he comes out as if nothing has happened. You can see his face. You just see his face. If you find the difference, don't talk about that. Don't talk about the fear. Don't talk about you knew something he was doing. Please don't tell him. Just after he comes, are you okay? Okay, now just have your breakfast. Like the normal thing what you are, your tone, the way you talk to your child at that particular time, that plays a major role. But as a parent, what can I do? My housework, my homework, the way I travel to office, the way I get ready to office, especially as a mother. Again my office stress, again the office burden, again coming back, again the home, the cooking, the cleaning, the children, the husband, the in-laws, and. Where will I have patience? I also should shed out, right? So the easiest way to shed out is my child. Because whatever I do, the child listens. Even if I have not done, the child has not done anything, but still I can show my anger on him. Still I can take out my frustration. When you start doing this, the child will find someone else. Today, we really understand the values of a joint family. The values of too many people. There we never wanted any cameras. We had so many cameras. If it is a grandmother will see how I am sneaking out. Then my auntie, she will see how I am sneaking. My uncle, what happened? Where were you standing? Why were you standing? Too many things were there. And I also had that fear. Today we have a digital third eye which has been recorded, which has not been seen. Those days we never had a third eye, but everything was recorded and corrected. So I would just like to end with one sentence. Please take this into a big consideration. Like, what is the demand? What is the demand? What is the supply? What is the demand? What is the supply? If the demand is 1% and I am supplying 9%, 8% variation is there. Once you give me more, the next time I'll ask much more. Happy parenting. Any questions, you can please get in touch with the same channels with your questions. We are here to answer you. Till our next episode, take care. Happy parenting. Thank you.
Oh, madam, it has been an eye-opener. It's been a fantastic talk. And but a few points I would like to contribute. Anand, the classmate of mine in Manipal Medical School. Anand, I hope you're listening. Anand woman. As you know, undergraduate class we share thoughts, and one word he said burnt into my heart, and that I stuck by. And he said, what is the best gift you can give your child is a 24-hour mother.
Yes.
There were extreme pressures on me to marry a doctor, and I used to, in front of our house there was a crush where working mothers would drag their children, dump them, and late evening they would come and drag them back, looked after by akka, aya. What is the emotional bankruptcy that these children have, and how are these being looked at? Looking back, I insisted on marrying a full-time housewife, and the twins that I had, my God, they were blessed to have a full-time mother who evolved them to what they are. So my number one take is, today's financial situation does not maybe permit that, the way things are skyrocketing, but have a full-time mother. My God, that is a great. Number two, well, today's world is different. So therefore, when mothers come, what is the best gift until 9 years of age that you can give? Hug, so that the emotion develops. Whereas the children are in a corner with their pads and tabs, and mothers are busy elsewhere. Where is the hug? And emotionally they get bankrupt. No, spend enough time till 9 years, hug them to their limit. If it is absent, where they will get their solace from thumb sucking. The moment I see a child thumb sucking, it is emotionally bereft and getting that fulfillment from thumb sucking. So that's another thing. Next, what is the best gift you can give a child? One word, which nobody was there to tell me or instill in me, because a lot of fear factors, parents strict and all that. What is the best gift you can give a child? As it evolves through the years, it will withstand it in any turmoil of life. One word, confidence. If you have confidence, anything you can handle. Self-confidence is a better predictor of success than anything else. If you say you can, you can. If you say you can't, you can't. Your brain is so wired, you can't. So in the beginning itself, Never say, oh, you're poor in maths, you're poor in this. No, no. You can. If you think you can, you can. If you think you can't, you can't. So in that regard, I come back again. We have a lot of IQ, intelligence, emotional EQ, and but what is most important is I can. If you feel you can, you can. So never ever go to a palmist and he will say, no, no, you will not pass medicine. That is the end of it. Don't go to an astrologer. They say it's all destiny. No, no, no. You are the captain of your ship. You are the master of your destiny. You chart your own path. And now what a major thing today now, madam, I want to ask you, because now mothers are preferring to be full-time mothers when children in homeschooling, because so much of trouble is happening in schools on peer interventions and criticism and the drugs, the major issue now,
Yes.
and all these problems. So therefore homeschooling is coming in a big way in America. Maybe it will come shortly in India too. Maybe it's in that regard we are about to launch an online school. The amount of money for a school bus, dress, tons of all that you need to have is a mobile phone which will interact and teach you, but that is for a different episode. So therefore so many things. So when a child is having these various peer pressure in schools and they come to you distressed, how will you handle that?
See, the first and foremost, no child is under any kind of stress unless and until the parent definitely puts stress on him or her. Okay. Now, as you said, if the child is having, if the mother is working, please jolly well work. I am so sure your mother or your mother-in-law, they are not working. Okay. The first thing you have to teach the child the relationships. What exactly is the relationship? See, nobody can place a mother or a grandmother's role unless and until they are really that. By paying, you can't do that. If you are a working mother and you feel that, that your child is showing some kind of stress and you're using that word stress in front of the child understands, okay, when I do this, this is what it is. Okay. In case if you're a working mother, please see that there is one blood related who is staying with the child. As you said, the hug. That is what we say, the touch therapy, the non-verbal conversation plays a major role. Then touch therapy is even hitting you. That also is a thing. Okay, just pulling you. That also is a touch therapy. But what is the touch what you are giving? Again, we have taught the children about the good touch and the bad touch. I said today no touch. Because it may start with a good touch and then it will proceed to the bad touch. Okay, so we don't know who is bad and who is good. Like the kind of cases what we are saying. The kind of cases what we are saying. A 3-year-old, a 3 months old, a 9-year-old, a 13-year-old. My God, age is not a number at all. Just you are a girl, that's it. So when that stress is coming up, please teach the child about the actual connecting relationship. The moment I start talking bad about my mother, my in-laws in front of my child, the child takes over. So that is the most important. The children absolutely have no trust, no stress at all. It is we who imbibe. It is we who are telling what is stress. Why is it that we were? I think as we grew up, we never knew what was stress. So today, if there is something called like stress, it is that we have created that. That is nothing inborn. If it was really a stress, I wouldn't have given birth to after having a child in 9 months. And then what was the stress? Anybody who thinks, no, I'm not going to have it. So there is no such word of stress. There is no such kind of frustration. It is all, as you rightly said, it is just here. And then you put it here. That's it. Then no, my child is very happy. My child is very lucky. My child is happy-go-lucky all the time. He jokes. He says, you see what is his creativity. Instead of saying that he is stressed. So this is the best way. I say connecting the family, connecting the blood related will always play a major role in case if you are working. But as you rightly said, 24/7 being a mother, that is the end of all the problems. And today, even if you are not working, you already have a mobile, you are working. So that is another thing. I am not working, but all the time when I am on the reels or some kind of episodes, you are again employed.
Another thing I would like to add is for teachers, because I am an ENT surgeon, and when teachers criticize children and
Yes.
make them feel very bad, and they have so much of stress, that is when stammering will start. And I've seen so many children suddenly start stammering at third, fourth,
In between,
fifth,
yes.
and then it becomes you can't correct it, and for life they suffer. So do not criticize a child. It's like a small flower, and if at all, try to help and promote and praise and bring out the best in them. Never ever criticize and find fault, because every child is a raw stone, like a diamond. It has to be chiseled and brought out. That is your prime duty as a teacher. And Madam, you said a few words about the pregnancy. Of course, I do not have religious or political leanings, but who has the highest number of Nobel Prizes in the world? Not that I should sort of touch on religion, but the Jews. Why do they? Because I looked into how the mothers are gleaned into having good thoughts, great music, cultural music, good reading, and all that. From the womb, the training starts. You see how eventually, aren't they the most brilliant? They are. I mean, this is my personal opinion, but they have got the greatest number of Nobel Prizes in the world. Maybe that has a bearing in the pregnancy itself. Nurturing a child to intellectual heights has a bearing. And lastly, there is an emerging science, because as a doctor I want to add, so much when the child is a loner and does not mix and all that, in spite of the best we have given, there is an emerging science called the microbiome, in which it is found that the flora of the intestine, the bacterial flora, has a bearing on your behavior. I never knew that. I can't even imagine. But today it's a fact. And therefore I ask mothers one question. The child is very irritable and all that. And I said, did you, I don't know whether I'm right, but it's my personal, did you give curds every day? Some families or some religions or customs, every day a little bit of curds. When the microbiome is altered to something which is negative, it reflects through the vagus nerve into the brain, and you become aggressive or loner or depressed or psychological. And then ultimately we go into drugs and medication. No, just change the microbiome, the entire personality changes. What a magic it is. That's a just recently breakthrough science. But then, Madam, you have opened a window to all the mothers' minds, what all can go wrong, how it can be set right, and what a wonderful thing they have. Like a raw wood, they can carve it into something really fantastic and make committed citizens of the city and the world. And who are our greatest exports? Fantastic Indians. 100 billion is the NRI remittances. Make Indians world class. During the formative years, make them highly professional. 94% of the students that come out of professional colleges are unprofessional. So therefore, one is bring in the requisite culture, trust, honesty, integrity, humility, humaneness, interactivity, networking. Bring that all that in, plus make them fantastic professionals. We will stand tall and proud. And looking after hundreds of children, bringing them back to mainstream life, which of so many cases I know of, Madam Ruxana is actually a star of Mangalore. In that regard, may I ask Akshata to present a token of appreciation and a plaque honoring her to be on behalf of the director. She is indeed a star of Mangalore. Madam, please accept. Mangalore is the 48th best city in the world. There is no other Indian city in that list. What makes Mangalore so fantastic? The climate clouds come from everywhere, go through Mangalore. What makes Mangalore a towering giant amongst the sea of giants? It is people like Madam Ruxana and others who make Mangalore what it is.
Thank you.
We require people like her to nurture Mangalore into its fantastic recognition and stand tall in the cities of the world. Thank you, Ruxana.
Thank you so much. It's a great pleasure for me to be on this platform. Even if I touch about one parent, one mother, I think that's a great success for me.
Wonderful.